Alright, confession time. How many of you have been told that the secret to weight loss is eating more protein? It sounds almost too good to be true, right? Just crank up the protein and watch the pounds melt away. Well, by the end of this video, you are going to know whether that advice is a game changer or just another myth. Spoiler alert. The answer might surprise you, and it's not as simple as more protein, fewer pounds. And to make sure we are not just winging it here, I'm bringing in some expert insight from the one and only Dr. Christopher Gardner, one of the top nutritional scientists in the world. So stick around, this is going to get really interesting. Now let's be honest. We are living in a protein-obsessed world. Everywhere you look, it's protein this, it's protein that. The shelves are filled with protein-packed everything. But here's the million-dollar question. Does more protein really help you lose weight? And if so, how much protein do we actually need? So let's start with the basics. The RDA, that's the recommended dietary allowance. Fancy term, right? Says that the average adult needs 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. For those not doing the math in their head right now, that's about 56 grams for men and 46 grams for women. An example of something which weighs around 56 grams could be like a tennis ball. And then for something which weighs 46 grams, think of it like a small sized egg. But that's just for maintaining your body. What if you are trying to lose weight? Should you double it? Triple it? I mean, after all, more is better, right? Now, there is this myth floating around that the more protein you eat, the more weight you lose. Just pump up the protein and you'll be shredded like a Greek god, right? But here's where we slam the brakes. It's time for a reality check. According to Dr. Christopher Gardner, one of the leading experts in nutrition research, the story of protein and weight loss is a lot more nuanced than more is better. In fact, eating more protein doesn't necessarily mean losing more weight. Now, first of all, what is protein and why do we need it? I'm glad you asked. All of our cells, our organs, our hair, our fingernails, all of that is structural protein. All the enzymes that are in our body that catalyze reactions and make metabolism move forward, those are all proteins. Many hormones are proteins. All proteins are made of 20 amino acids in the human body. And I like to think of it like the Scrabble letters in the Scrabble board game. And for perspective, there is a couple of them that are only 3 amino acids tied together, which would be called a tripeptide. And then our body makes almost everything out of these 20 amino acids. Now, titin, the largest known protein, consists of about 35,000 amino acids strung together in a specific chain. The amino acids are arranged in a certain configuration. These long strings of amino acids, they twirl and twist and conform. They actually have to be side by side in just the right way. And if you change that and unravel them, which happens in your stomach when you have a low pH, it happens with heat. What happens? You are going to inactivate the protein. And if it was going to have some functional purpose like, say, an enzyme or a hormone, it no longer works. And now it's kind of just like fuel. Now you can break apart the single amino acid and use them, but it can't function like it was going to. And that's why protein is so tricky. So many things that it does, so many ways to activate and inactivate it. But let me add one twist to this, which is pretty interesting. Are you ready? There are very few rare exceptions to this. But when you eat an animal protein or a plant protein, it goes into your digestive tract. You can't absorb those amino acids into your body until you break them down into single amino acid levels, and then you absorb them. The body can't remember where it came from. Did it come from a pig or did it come from a broccoli? No clue. The body doesn't care to even tell. Out of the 20 amino acids our bodies make, 11 are non-essential. The other 9 are essential ones. We can't make those ones that are essential. We have to get them from our diet. By the end of this video, you will be able to answer the question, does eating more protein help with weight loss? Now, think of it. What if you got more protein than you needed? What will happen to all that extra? Okay, let's go down that rabbit hole just for a minute, for a fun exercise. So think of an average day. You probably eat more carbohydrates than you need. And so once you've eaten some carbohydrate, the first thing it says is, oh my God, does my brain need it right now? Nope. My brain says it's okay. Do my muscles need it? Nope. I'm just doing a video right now, right? I'm just sitting here. I don't need, my muscles, right? Technically. Okay. I have a storage depot for my carbohydrate. It's called glycogen. And there is some in my muscles and there's some in my liver. So I will try to fill up my storage capacity of glycogen stored carbohydrate so that I can have some later in the day. And do you know how long it would take for you to deplete all the storage carbohydrate in your body? Any idea? Are you a runner out there? I bet you've heard that marathon runners at 20 miles bonk if they don't have enough carbohydrate. That basically means you've used up all the glycogen that you stored in your body. It's only about a kilo. Okay, let's switch for a minute. Let's talk fat. Let's go to fat. So let's say you ate more fat calories for the day and you use it for various things. Mostly you burnt it for energy. Where would you store that and how much could you store? And I'll save you the trouble here. You can store an infinite capacity of fat. You can store hundreds and hundreds of pounds of fat in your butt, in your thighs, in your jaws. Endless capacity to store, right? It would take you an incredibly long time to use up all the fat that you have in your body. So unlimited capacity to store fat, a very limited capacity to store carbohydrate. Where could the extra protein go? You made your enzymes, you made your hormones, you lifted your weights, and it was a little more than you needed. Or maybe a lot. So where do you think you put this in your body? Is it in your spleen? Is it in your liver? Is it in your big toe? Is it in your elbow? Where's your protein storage? Where is your protein storage? There is none. Every bit of it at the end of the day has the nitrogen taken off and it gets turned into carbs and fat. You can't store protein in your body. So the muscle heads who are having lots of meat and regular meals and a protein shake and a protein bar are turning all those into carbs and fat at the end of the day. All that extra protein doesn't have a secret pass to bypass the body storage system. There is even a scientific evidence to back this up. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that increasing protein intake without cutting back on overall calories didn't lead to more weight loss. In fact, people who simply ate more protein without adjusting their calorie intake either maintained their weight or even gained a little. Why? Because weight loss comes down to the basics. Calories in versus calories out. If you are eating more protein but still eating more calories than you burn, that protein is just extra fuel you store for later. So can eating more protein help you lose weight? The answer is no. Not if you are overdoing it. Protein is not the magic bullet we hoped it would be. At the end of the day, it's about balance. Proteins, carbs, and fats all working together in the right amounts. The secret to weight loss isn't eating more protein. It's eating smart protein in the right amounts. And trust me, your waistline will thank you for it.
I'm Linda.
And I'm Asoni.
And we are the Jaff Kids. Like
And subscribe.
and hit that notification bell.